and bienvenidos. Welcome to my live. Hey, Luis Fernando Torres Lopez. I guess you are busy. This is Psalms, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Is that your husband's account you on Psalms? Let me silence my phone because it will surely go off, guys. Hey, Chloe, how are you? Chloe said first. It is Psalms. Okay. Hey, Mike, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I am just trying to silence all of my devices so that I do not get interrupted. So just give me a second. If you are here for the first time, I just want to say thank you. If not, I just want to say thank you so much for joining my live. Um, so Psalm says, Gózalo. Absolutely, absolutely. And she says she'll be here in the bushes. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Chloe Tuck. Chloe, I hope you had a good day at school. Hope everything was going good. Hey, GT Junior, I'm so glad you're here. You and Mike, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I humbly, gratefully accept third place in the WIG 2024. I feel so honored to have gotten third place. I really appreciate that. That was amazing. So thank you. You guys, I always say that being in the garden community, if you listen, you will learn. And the challenge, oftentimes when I enter a challenge, is to learn something. So I appreciate you guys for doing it, for hosting it. I did learn a lot, not just a lot about gardening indoors, but a lot about myself, my endurance, and just things don't always go well. You got to get right back in there and boom, be at it, be at it. So thank you. I'm so happy to take third place. Thank you, thank you. So Mike says, be right back. Got to put cages I made in the garden before. Oh, definitely, definitely. Thank you, Psalms. I appreciate that. So everybody, please, can you put your weather? What's your weather looking like? Hey, how are you, sis? So good to see you. God's desire for me. Good to see you. Good to see you. So glad we got a chance to talk a little bit earlier. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So anyway, my temps today, it was hot, guys. It was sweltering. So it was the high was not 90. The high was 89, 1 degree short of 90. But with the humidity, the real feel ended up being 94. So it was that tells you how high the humidity was. So Mike says 58 about the to rain the next few days. We had that. I had that last week, the whole weekend. So I couldn't do anything. Could not do anything. I was so disgusted because I really wanted to get out in that garden. I had a lot that I wanted to do. But this weekend, guys, I was busy and I had some really important things going on, but I was able to get something done. And so Psalm says 50 right now, but the cold night temps wipes. Dang, man, wiped out almost all of my plants. Wow. Hang in there, sis. Hang in there. And here is the number 2 winner of the WIG. Congrats, Growing with Hudson. You did a fantastic job. Thank you for being here. Hey, Wellness with Frugal Mama, keeping us encouraged and in fit. I did not exercise this morning, but sis, let me tell you, I bought something great. I bought an a treadmill, but it's just, you know what? Let me look it up. It's a treadmill without the handles. and it's something that they say can go right under the bed. And I ordered it from Amazon. It's called the Super Run walking pad. And I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I love it. It was a little intimidating at first because you had to download the app, and then you had to it was required that you do the QR code or download the app, and you were required to do 3 minutes on the treadmill before it would continue to work without any issues. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Hey Cassandra, how are you? She says, good evening. Gardeners in chat, congratulations on your win and participation. Thank you so much. I so appreciate y'all. I really, really do. It means so much to me because, y'all are the best community. So Growing with Hudson is speaking to everyone, and she says, thanks. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Yeah, but anyway, so wellness, I got that, and I just love it. I love it. I had to be a little careful at first, like when I first step on and when I first step off. So when I get on, because I turn it on before I get on it. I know some people get on it and then they turn it on, but I have to turn it on. It's just easier for me. I turn it on and I stand on the side and then I step on it. And the same thing when I get off. I step to the side and do it like that. But I love it. It is really good. It's just not the big bulky treadmill. So I love it. And it actually, you can pay for even more features, which I am not, but you can kind of pay for features, and then you can get through the app, you can get sceneries as if you're walking in a forest, walking here, walking there. I don't need that. I put on different things, listen to them, watch it, and go from there. Hey, LGG love. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So happy to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I really, really do. And Cassandra says, congratulations on your second place win, Growing with Hudson. So she is definitely congratulating you, which is nice. And she, of course, is speaking. Back to driving and listening. Okay, please be safe out there. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Hey, 70 plus gardener, how are you? So good to see you. Guys, I'm so amped up for tonight's live. I got some really interesting stuff to share with you guys about seeds. Really, really amazing. Congratulations, everyone. Yes. Hello, everyone, multitasking. Yes. Nothing wrong with multitasking. In fact, that's a good thing to be able to do, to multitask. Kill two birds with one stone. Hola, sis. Happy to be here. Thank you. So, the weather, guys. My weather is starting to pick up. I mentioned to you last week that we generally have been in the 90s by now. Well, we have gotten our 90-degree weather. But what's crazy is that the weather's going to go down. Today was supposed to be thunderstorms. It did not thunderstorm. So I'm thinking it's going to be tonight. And that's a 40% chance. And it's going to be cloudy for the next 3 days. Then it's going to be sunny. Then it's going to be cloudy. Then it's going to be sunny. Then it's going to be cloudy. And then next week, we're going to have a bunch of thunderstorms. And we won't have any days in the 90s past Wednesday. It'll all be back down to the 80s. So I'm cool with that. What's up, Cece? How you doing, sis? Thank you so much for coming. Girl, you are always going someplace. What's next? Oh, I know. The kickback. Are you going to the kickback? Crawfish kickback? Just wondering, is anybody else going? Wow, she said 90s all week. Yeah. Hopefully your plants will be loving it and they can soak up that sun instead of soaking up that water, because that was a mess. She said, yes, ma'am, she is going. Good for you. Good for you. All these challenges makes us better gardeners. I wish more people would participate in 2025. There is nothing like challenging yourself. You know what? I agree with that wholeheartedly. It makes you a better gardener because you are in this challenge. You want to do well. And so when things don't go well, in my case, you say, okay, what can I do? Well, you got to get back in there, get those seeds going, do some research. Why is it looking a little sad? Do I need to give it more nutrients? And it really is amazing. My skills for growing indoor have heightened. Each year, I've gotten better with the challenge. Each year, I've learned something new. So you are absolutely right. All the challenges do make us better gardeners, and that's what we want. We want to grow our own because when you grow your own, you know. When you grow, you know. So she said, yes, I would be there. I need to get your number. Oh man, you are going too. Y'all, I could not find a good ticket. The problem is, like I said, I would have to go for the weekend. I'd have to leave that Friday night and I'd have to come back Sunday evening. Even if I came back late Sunday evening, it would have to be Sunday evening. And I just can't pay almost $600 for a ticket for the weekend. I just can't do it, y'all. But I'll be better prepared next year. I really will. So I know everybody's going to have a good time. And I'm sure I'll see lots of footage. Would. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Jihad, awesome. Yes, email me. Okay, very good. Hey, G Mama, how are you? So good to see you. So good to see you. She is saying hello to everybody in the chat. Hey, Laura's Garden and More. So good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. She's speaking of Growing with Hudson. And Nightbot says, thank you for joining the live chat. You are appreciated. Yes, that means you and you and you and you and you. That means everybody. Laura's Garden, G Hud, G Mama, Cece, Mike, GT, Wellness, Cassandra, Psalms, God's Desire for Me, LGG Love, Chloe Tuck. Did I say Wellness? GT Jr., Cassandra, and Psalms. Yeah, I think I got everybody. Thank you. That means you. I appreciate you. You make me possible. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Had to say it, and I will continue to say it because you are appreciated. So, guys, I've got some wonderful things happening. Coming up, I have a huge announcement that I will announce on my live June 2nd. That Monday, that live, I'm making a big announcement, and I hope you guys will be a part of it. So, mark your calendars. Yep, June 2nd. I'm going to make an announcement. A wonderful, wonderful announcement. And so, G Mama says, thanks for tapping the like button, everybody. It helps support the channel. Yes, it does. And I greatly appreciate it. So Mike said back, it can storm now. Long as you take care of what you got to take care of, good for you. So, guys, you know, every week I talk about a movie. This is one of my great classic films collection. I don't think y'all can see it good. Let me try to work with this. Anyway, the movie that I'm featuring is this one right here. The Maltese Falcon. Y'all see it right there. So I don't know if any of you have seen the Maltese Falcon, but we're going to talk about it. So Mike says I made wire cages to cover my grow bags and to keep squirrels and rabbits out. That's good. We yes, it is a tease, but I'm super excited about it. What's up, David Corey Cropper? How are you doing? How's your watermelons doing? Just curious. Just want to know. He was one of the watermelon kings. but we'll see what happens. Yes, June 2nd, big announcement. Um, so I picked this movie because I was thinking about something that happened in Miss Shirley's live, and she was talking about the seed that was sold for or something like that, sold for a lot of money. And this movie, The Maltese Falcon, this falcon, they had while they were making the movie, they had 8 statues of the falcon, and it's 12 inches tall, so it's not. But 2 were made of lead and 6 were made of plastic. So let me just take you backtrack. The movie opens up by saying, in 1539, the Knight Templars of Malta paid tribute to Charles V of Spain by sending him a golden falcon encrusted from beak to claw with the rarest of jewels. But pirates seized the gallery, carrying the priceless token, and the fate of the Maltese Falcon remains a mystery to this day. That's how the movie opens. It's very exciting, and the music and everything just plays into the woo of it. Well, let me just say, I don't know if anyone has seen it or if anyone wants to see it, but if you do, I found a website, guys, where you can watch it for free. It's called Internet Archives or archives.com. So I'm going to put it in here, and archives.org, and you can watch it for free. I know because I watched it. Even though I have the movie, I wanted to make sure that you could actually watch the movie. And yes, you can watch the whole movie. So I'm going to get to the movie, but let me get to some of the chat, because I know people are talking in the chat and I want to acknowledge you guys. So Cassandra said, I've seen the Maltese Falcon years ago as well. Dial M for Murder. That's a good movie too. I have that one too. I like that movie. Y'all know I love my classic. I love this. What's good, Gigi Mama? Says David Corey. Everybody is speaking to Cassandra and others. Hey, you, Cassandra. Yes, yeah. Okay, so Cece said, what's the name? Oh, it's archives.org. Yep. And you could even see old movies. I don't know if there's any new movies, but I know that you can see like silent movies. You can see other movies that are current. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. So sorry about that, guys. I was picking up some feedback. In any event, I don't know if it's just old movies, David, but I do know that once I saw that they had the Maltese Falcon, I then went to see if they had a silent movie that I like. It's by Louise B. Mayer. It's a Louise B. Mayer movie. It stars Norma Shear, and it's called Lady of the Night, and it's a silent movie. And I just typed that in to see if they had it, and they did have it. So I'm not sure the extent of the movies that they have, but they do have it. So so we are following I always follow Sunday, and this beautiful lady here always does Mindful Sundays. Hey Gina, listening while in the for you. Do what you got to do. You're probably taking care of that watermelon. So the movie is The Maltese Falcon. That is the name of the movie, The Maltese Falcon. And let me see, because I have the site here. They have video, they have audio, they have various different things. Guys, I am so sorry, but I must take this call. Hello? Yes, how are you? I'm good. Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll let him know. Okay, bye-bye. So I'm so sorry, guys. The reason why I had to take the call is because Mr. Pescatarian is picking something up, and they think that he is one place and they want him to go to the lumber area. So let me just let him know, send him a text. They said go to the lumber department parking area. Okay. So sorry, guys. So sorry. Had to do that though. He's actually picking up something that I wanted for the garden and the chicken coop. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, just movies, just movies. They do have some audio of what I'm not quite sure. But check it out, guys. Check it out. You might find a movie up there that you like, and like I said, it is free, which is why it's um .org instead of .com, because anyway, David said just call her. Stop, you crazy. So I am no. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Look, it's okay. It's okay. Look, I could have muted y'all, but it was just a basic phone call. It's cool. It's so sorry. So sorry. Um, there's nothing private. Hey, Mama Shirley, how are you? How are you? So yeah, so let's get back to see everybody speaking to Mama Shirley. That part. Exactly. I mean, what's the big deal? You're gonna probably see a video about it anyway. Hey guys, so I decided to do da 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 da, and I got this. So y'all are good. Y'all are good. See, we okay. We okay. Um, yeah, exactly. Right. We all fam. So back to this movie and talk about some interesting stuff about seeds. So that's how the movie starts. The movie takes place in San Francisco, and it is about this falcon that people are trying to get. I mean, these really tough guys are trying to get it. Well, it happens to be in the possession of one person, this woman. How she gets it, I won't say, but people are after her. She goes to a private detective. Initially, she tells him some stuff hogwash. Um, his name is Sam Spade, and that is played by Humphrey Bogart. And I learned something in the movie. He says, "Oh, I'm just a shamus." I looked it up a while back because I didn't know what a shamus was. I thought they were private detectives. I know they called them private eyes. I know they called them dicks. But a shamus is a slang name that was used to refer to private detectives, police officers, and police officers. So that was something that I learned when I did research on the movie. In any event, this falcon, I told you that there were 8 guys. There are only 2 that they can speak of now. One is in the Warner Brothers Studio Museum. And it's interesting because the falcon that they used in the movie was 50 pounds. Hey, 50 pounds. 50 pounds. I don't know if anyone gets the significance of that. Me saying, hey, number 8. But anyway, was 50 pounds. When she was, when the character that was co-starring with Humphrey Bogart, when she was holding it, one day she dropped it on his foot. And that was 50 pounds, guys. And so it's made of lead. But when it hit the floor, the back of the falcon, where the feathers are, got dented in. And the actual falcon that is at the Warner Brothers Museum, you can actually see the dent where it had fallen. So that is very interesting. Now, so where's the other stovetop proverbial bushes? I like that. So where's the other one? Nope. I won't say nobody knows, but it is not on public record as to who has it. So many, I told you guys that I like old movies. And I like not just the movies, but I like to learn about the characters, the props, and different things like that. So I like Diahann Carroll as an actress. She is deceased. I know I'm speaking of her as if she's still alive, but I like Diahann Carroll. Courtship of Eddie's Father, and a host of other things. Well, Bonhams is an auction house, and people will donate or they will give things to Bonhams to auction off. And I wanted that experience of being involved in the auction. So one year, and I would just look and see the different things that Bonham had. And so one year, let's see, 9 years ago, they had an auction collection of Diahann Carroll stuff. 2 suits, a pajama set. They had a blazer. They had her mirror and comb and brush for her vanity set. And they had some other things, shoes and whatnot. Well, I didn't want those things. It was 3 blocks. They call them lots, actually, 3 lots. I was bidding for the lot for the suits and everything, and I won the bid. I will tell you, it was, I don't think it was pricey for what I paid and what I bid. What I was not prepared for is when you bid, you have to, they force you to purchase insurance on what you bid. That was not disclosed. That I had no idea. Fortunately, I had enough to cover it. Now, the reason why they do that is because they don't want anything to happen in transit from them to you. Now, what they do disclose is the parameters. They say the range of what the shipping will cost to get it from one place to another. So that I knew I would have to pay in addition to what I bid. So when I was bidding, I incorporated that in my head as to how high I would go. But like I said, the insurance is not on it. But anyway, I'm saying that to say they auctioned off the Falcon, the Maltese Falcon from the movie, the other one, and someone purchased it for a little over $4 million they had to pay. So the price, guys, for it, for the actual bid was $3,585,000. But by the time they paid for the shipping and the insurance they had to have on it, they paid $4,085,000. So they actually paid for an extra $585,000 to ship it and to insure it. And I tried to find out who purchased it, who auctioned it, and Bonhams and no place could I find who did it. Yes, it is pricey. Now, let me just say this: I'm not a millionaire. Don't aspire to be one. However, what I paid was considerably less than that. Less than that. And my thinking was one day I was going to do a movie channel and talk about all of the old movies. And one day I was thinking I would wear one of her outfits when I featured or talked about her movie. Haven't done it. It is maybe a goal. I don't know. We'll see. Hey, Nikki. Uh, she said, "Good evening, WIG third place winner and everyone." And Nikki, congratulations, guys. She was the number one winner. So well deserved. So well deserved. And I'm going to tell you, you and Cassandra, I felt like I was in such good company, ladies. So thank you. So Happy Max said they must have loved the movie. Yeah, you know, when you bid with Bonhams, you have to put okay, say your cap is $1 million. You have to put that $1 million up before the auction. They want to make sure you have that money. So however you're paying, that money is locked in, it's frozen, you cannot touch it. They make sure they get their money. So I'm thinking 4 million. Come on, this is somebody that had money already. That's not just your everyday person purchasing this. Me, that was a small purchase in comparison. Yes, everyone is congratulating Nikki. Nikki, so well done. Congratulations. Mike said yes. And Psalm says congratulations. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so that was very, very interesting. So now I'm not going to talk anymore about the movie. I love the movie, but I don't know. I was thinking about gardening and how has gardening evolved through the years. And there is a website called Timeline of American Garden. I found it by mistake, guys, when I was doing my research. Timeline of American Garden. It has so much information. But what I honed in on was that from 1619 to 1865 was when slaves had gardens. I was like, what? Slaves had gardens. Okay, good. I was like, how? How did they have gardens? I knew they worked for Massa, but how did they do it? So it said their gardens were behind the big house. And for anyone that doesn't know, the big house is where Master and the family were. So behind that, that is where they were. Dave said, "Nikki, now you know what it feels like to be a winner." You know what? You funny. Is that a compliment for real, or is it kind of throwing shade in reference to watermelons? Anyway, so I started doing some research, and it said what they did was, even though they didn't have much time, they did have their own small plot where they could do a garden. And so I was very happy to hear that, because gardening brings me so much joy. And thinking, well, man, we know the perils, the difficulty, the challenge that slaves had. But to have a garden must have brought them some measure of joy. So I looked at the various different benefits that they said they had. Now, I did find some conflicting information, and we're going to get to that. But they said it was supplemental rations. That was the number one reason. They said that, they were not always given the best food, of course, because they were slaves. they were not always given enough food. So their gardens were supplemental rations for them. And because they only had meager food, this really helped their diets. It also brought, they say, diversity. And that's where I have a little conflict. Diversity, how? Anyway, also, too, they said that it gave them some economic opportunities. Now, I'm sure it says they sold their extra produce, um, but I'm sure they didn't get top money. They probably were cheated quite often, but they probably took what they had and they were able to have that little bit of money. When slavery ended, that is probably how some slaves ended up with some money. So, David, it's okay. I know you just finding out so late in life. Don't say it, James. Don't say it. You know what? Stop. So he said, yes, I was very excited to hear that slaves had gardens too. Yeah, I had no idea. um, oh, he said, pause, Nikki, don't beat me. So another thing is that I tried to find out, where did they get the seeds? Because it said that they gave them a more diverse diet than what they got from the owners, their slave owners. So one reference said they hid seeds in their braided hair. Now, you can hide seeds in this hair. If it's kinky, you can hide seeds in there. But what I have a problem with is, how did they know to get seeds when they were being chased down and captured? It doesn't make sense to me. One reference said that they did not carry seeds with them. That is not how they got seeds from Africa. They said that basically they were not given any opportunity to bring anything with them. In fact, it said they were stripped of clothing and everything that they had so that they could pack more into that ship. Um, I live in an area where slaves were brought in. Anyone that's been to the Soil Expo may have seen the holding areas where the slaves came and were able to read about it. And they confirmed the fact that they were brought in with nothing, nothing on, nothing on their feet, nothing, not even a loincloth. So I'm thinking, how else did they get it? So in some research, I found that those that were trading got seeds along with other things they were trading from the people who were selling slaves, allowing them to be caught. And so David says critical thinking is all in reading history. Exactly. Because some things just don't make sense. And that did not make sense to me. So yeah, it says the food that they were given to eat, although very little, could have had seeds in them. I thought about that too. What I thought about was, the same way we know how to let things go to seed, maybe they were smart enough and sly enough to get seeds. Think about it. If you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, could you have possibly risked putting that tomato, squishing that tomato and getting the seeds and putting them someplace until you get back to your hut or place of dwelling to let them dry out? Think about it. Tomatoes, cucumbers, all of those things, they could have been in the kitchen and got those seeds. I don't think we will ever know truly how they did it. One reference said they brought back okra from the motherland over here. And, that would mean that the okra seeds had to already be the pods. They had to have them because you get the okra seeds from the okra. I cannot see, it just doesn't make sense to me. But you got to use your head. And in the big scheme of things, what difference does it make? We have them. So Nikki said maybe the slave owners did give them a few seeds so they would have something to eat. I think that's more likely because not every slave owner was ugly and dark or mean. I say dark meaning evil. Um, to their slaves. Some owners probably let them have it because think about it. When we harvest I'm letting my seeds to my collards. I'm letting it go to seed. Everything is grown. I'm just waiting for the pods to turn brown. And then I'm going to pick them. And anyone who has saved collard seeds knows you get so many little black seeds in one pod. So while the slave owners sure use those seeds, it is likely, and when you think about it critically, it does make sense, like David and Nikki said, and I agree, that they probably got seeds from the slave owners. So I think that is very interesting. Nikki said, when you cut open a pepper, think of all the seeds inside. Exactly. I think, growing gardens, another thing I thought is they had so little control over everything that they were doing. Such little control. Think about it. You could have a child and someone could come along and take your baby from you. Your child. They didn't have control over much. So having a garden gave them a sense of independence in that area, in that respect. They were in control of that. So I think that was something that probably helped make it a little bit bearable. I don't know. Mike says some were brought to grow things like rice. Yes, I did see something like that. That they had put things on the ship, and the ship owners allowed that because they wanted to do that there. So yeah, who were the slaves at that time? Because if you are indigenous to the land, you knew and not the seeds and where they come from. You know the seeds and where they come from. Yeah, this was information about the Atlantic slave trade. That was the information I was looking up, the Atlantic slave trade. So, I mean, you know what? They probably had ways of doing things that maybe we have no idea. So we don't know. But Happy Mac said, I'm sure the traders traded in cloth, spice, and seafood. Yep, exactly. And that's what the information was saying. It was saying that those ship owners, those people that were purchasing slaves to sell, also traded for other things. And I think that is probably more likely of how they got it, because maybe I'm wrong, but everything I've seen, everything I've read, they caught them, they captured them, they chased them, they pursued them. They did not give them time to get anything. So if they were allowed to grow things, it seemed like it would have been easy to gather seeds, plant them, and grow it. Yes, I agree. I think that if they had their gardens, I did read in some of the information that it said that different slaves grew different things and they would trade amongst themselves. So that makes sense that they would do something like that. Hey, I got this from Mammy whoever. I got that from whoever. Some slaves, we got to remember too, some slaves learned to read. And so if they learned to read, they were smarter in that respect, or considered smarter. I don't want to say smarter. I don't know what word I want to use, because I don't necessarily feel that a person who can't read is not as smart as a person who can read. Sometimes learning how to read is all about opportunity, not your capacity of intelligence. So I just think that they were better equipped. I'll put it that way, better equipped to get what they perhaps needed. So we don't know. It wasn't like they had some secret hidden gardens. That's right. They said they knew. So if the slave owners knew, then yeah. So I don't know where are the rice fields that were where the people came from. I mean, it brings up a whole lot of questions. It really does. When people came here back and even today, they bring their culture. Yep, they do. And that's something that they were saying. They were saying that they brought their seeds with them. They hid it in their hair. They hid it on their body parts, and they brought their culture with them. I do believe that they brought their culture with them. Music, stories, dance, history. But I'm a little sketchy on how they got the seeds. So I don't know. What's up, Rob in the garden? At an advantage. Thank you. That's it. They were at an advantage because they knew how to read. Thank you. Good sir. And by the way, hello to the wife and those beautiful children of yours. Also, some worked in the kitchen. Yep, preparing food where they would have had to remove seeds from some fruits and vegetables like tomatoes. Think about exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like I said earlier, if you're in the kitchen and you see that tomato and you know where the seeds are, the cucumber, you know where the seeds are, pumpkins, you know where the seeds are. And, you know, they say necessity is the mother of invention, meaning when you need something, you often find a way to get what you need. So I really, really appreciate that. They couldn't speak our language. Nope, they could not. The Gullah Geechee culture definitely came with them, along with the blessings of gumbo. Yes, because Psalms, you're right. Because in some of my information, it said that they started putting things in stews and soups when they were in the kitchen of Master that Master was not used to. And they liked that. And so, yes, that's something they were used to. So it's just a lot. It's just a lot that can be said. And so Nikki says, exactly, Cassandra, slicing those and all of those seeds falling out. And listen, we don't know what Master said. Master probably said, throw it in the trash. And they probably was like, okay, the trash could be my pocket. I mean, they might have hid something under their arm. We don't know. Whatever the case, we know that they did have gardens, and that's something that made me extremely happy. So David said, when you learn real history, you see who brought what, like curry, turmeric. That's all. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's so true. Hey, lady, what's up, Miss T with the T? Good to see you. Yeah, it's so true. The Gullah people were brought here to grow rice. Exactly. It even talked about how Haitians came, and in Maryland, they have a strong Haitian influence in one area. And that's because they said they brought their culture with them. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Gotta love okra. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And yeah, we use those seasonings. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to be doing some more research on the slave gardens. I found this really, really interesting to me. They also said that while they were on the ship, that there were leftover provisions that they could have gotten for various different ways. So they could have did favors, if you will, and gotten those provisions. So we don't know. Think about it. Potato slips. It's nothing for a potato to start growing those slips. They had the knowledge, and boom, they had potatoes in their garden. So Rob says, like Haitian buying, exactly. It makes so much sense. The slaves wanted to grow and profit from new food, so they brought back skilled growers. I'm telling you, I learned that some could read and were fully educated, just not English. Slave was not brought to America. They were people who were enslaved. It's true. I watched a documentary many, many years ago. I will say this, guys. Where I grew up in New York, it was not a lot of people that looked like me. Growing up, I was basically the only chocolate girl in my class very often. Um, this was um, until about third grade, from kindergarten to third grade, where I lived, there were more people that looked like me. But my dad, in his foresight, foreknowledge, for whatever you call it, realized that the neighborhood was getting bad. So he moved us to a better neighborhood, and there were very few people like me. And I did not learn about slavery in school. I was a grown woman, guys, when I found out that slaves were auctioned off. I did not know. I found out because I was driving, listening to a radio station. It was talking about slavery. And they played what a recreation. They recreated a slave um, owner purchasing a person that would be his slave. It cut me to the core because I was a grown woman and I did not know that. That's because the area I grew up in, all they taught us was the cotton gin. The invention of the cotton gin made it easier for the slaves to pick cotton, and they were grateful to the masters. That's what I learned. So all of this research I did was like mind blowing to me. I had no idea. So this is something I will be doing more research on. Mama Shirley says everything the master threw out, we know how to live off it. Now they charge an arm and a leg for the discarded food. Yes. I don't know if it's true, but somebody said that's how a lot of things like chitterlings and eating chicken feed and things like that came, because they would throw things out and we had to feed our families, we had to feed the children, and so they used it. So I really found it extremely intriguing. So it is very possible, like I say, that they had wonderful gardens. Um, just amazing. Yes, they cooked those scraps. They did. They really did. It was like they had to. They had no choice. And like I said, necessity is the mother of invention. You're not going to let your children starve if you've got these meager things here. You're going to find a way to prepare it, to fix it so that you can survive. And yes, they went through a lot, but they were survivors. They were truly survivors. That's what I was talking about. Discarded food. Exactly. I know. I know. Exactly. I'm agreeing with you. Owners wanted healthy slaves. Slaves were expensive property. Yep. So while they gave scraps, they wanted healthy labor. So they likely encouraged God. You know, that's probably very true. And they had little to do because they knew that those slaves would take care of those gardens. Because think about it, they were taking care of their gardens and doing what they needed. So I'm sure they learned and they shared what they knew with other slaves. I mean, adversity tends to bring people together. Um, Not always, but I believe back then that was the case. I do believe the majority of people forged alliances um, to kind of help each other, to keep each other going. So Mike says if you look at the slave roll, a slave was $1,200 back then, likely 40K today. Wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Um, in what I heard when they did the recreation of a slave being bought, they talked about her childbearing hips. They talked about her breasts. They talked about her teeth. They had the man look in her mouth at her teeth. they talked about her having all different kind of features that would be useful to them. And that was just so shocking to me. Hey, that's my art. How are you? It was just so shocking to me, guys. Like I say, I honestly didn't know. I didn't know. So finding out that they had gardens really, really meant a lot. Now, as far as the economic opportunities, that's one of the things I really want to get into. Who did they sell it to? Were they selling it to other sharecroppers whose things maybe didn't produce enough? Were they selling it to other people who didn't have farms? Everybody didn't have a farm. Maybe a lot of people did, a huge population, but I'm pretty sure not everybody did. So I was wondering if I could find some information on that. I will be looking for that. Cassandra said, I had the privilege of learning some things about slavery from my Aunt Cindy, who was a slave and lived to be over 100 years old. Wow. Man, Cassandra, that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, wow. Wow. That is amazing because that's firsthand. That's firsthand. And firsthand is always best. A book can never give you what firsthand can give you. So that is amazing. So I hope one day we'll be able to continue this conversation. I think it's very interesting. I hope that we can. Miss Shirley said my grandmother was a cook on the plantation too. Man, I tell you, I just to know the truth, what it was really like. That's what I want. In any event, I want, hey, Darth, we about to get out of here, but thank you for coming, Darth X. I appreciate you. Before you guys leave, could you please give me a thumbs up? I really appreciate that. LGG says, pescatarian, if we list every atrocity we as a people face, it would be mind blowing. I know. I know. It blew my mind. And that was just one thing. Um, but they say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and we're still here. Look at the accomplishments we've done, that we've made. And so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And so while it is very negative, I look at the positive. I look at the positive. So, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming. If I don't make it clear to you about anything, I want to definitely make it clear to you that each and every one of you are so appreciated. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the camaraderie. I love the comments, the feedback that I'm getting. It is wonderful. And I so appreciate it. Um, I appreciate you. I just want to say a special thank you to my friend who always watches my live. I know that you lost a family member in death, and I just want to say I love you so much. You have always been a special person to me, Lisa, and you always encourage me. You're like a big sister. You were like an auntie to my children, and we love you, and we're here to support you during this time of grief. I know you're going to watch the live, so I saved this message for you. You know you can call me anytime, and I'll be there anytime. I love you. Tell your husband I said hello. To all of you, that's why they hated our men. Yes. So I just thank you, Mike. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for coming. I love you all. And check out my video that's going to drop tonight. Anyway, as I always say, whatever you're doing, you enjoy it. Go Salo.